Diane in Denmark here, rah, rah, rah. Good morning, it is Wednesday. Hope you're fine and well. You are probably on lockdown or some form of lockdown as we are in Denmark. I'm checking in with you every day at the moment just to encourage you to keep putting one foot in front of the other. We're just moving forward, even if life seems a bit chaotic. We can at least deal with what's happening in our heads and in our homes. And I'm checking in with you every day just to make sure that you've got some kind of morning routine going so that you're kind of moving forward. And I'm also going to be talking today, just giving you a few ideas. You know, we have the Flylady Zones, you know, for doing the housework so that we're kind of covering all the areas. And just some ideas on how you can also use the idea of zones for the garden. I've told you about that before, how I use the zones for garden work, so we're not having to feel that we have to do all the garden at once. And also for your pamper, you know, I like to call it self-preservation, okay, just to look after yourselves. Anyway, the other thing, before I get into that, I'll just check in with you about our 40-day declutter. We've been going for, I think, 28 days now, so somebody will chime in and correct me if I've got the date wrong. I think we're on day 28 or 40. Woohoo! Go us. Remember, we're just looking for one item. Don't you know, set the bar too high and think that you have to find, you know, a whole drawer full of stuff to go, or a bag every day. We're just looking for one thing, and quite often, you know, it'll snowball and you'll find two or three, but the main thing is that we're being consistent, you know, just that fact of, you know, just plodding along and keep going. So I'll show you what mine is for today, and it's actually from our bedroom. And I'm basically working by zone. If you just want to pick a random place in the house, you know, maybe you're doing a basement declutter at the moment, go ahead and do that. Some pajama bottoms that are just kind of too short and don't fit right, you know, and life is too short, boom boom, to have pajama bottoms that don't fit properly. So that's my declutter item for today, and you can see I'm all in the navy, got a navy theme going on today. Right, a quick check-in for your morning routine. Remember, I've done a whole playlist, so many videos on how to set up, and you don't need to be doing a whole binder like this, but it's on the Flylady refresher course. If you press there on the screen, the videos will pop up. But I've gone through it before, how to set up routines, how to set up boundaries, whether you're working outside the home, whether you're working inside the home, whether you have got 22 cats and 15 children, whether you're a carer, whether you are newly retired, whether you're in lockdown, you know, whatever your situation is, how to set it up, what to focus on and what not to do, okay? Anyway, I'll just tell you mine. Hopefully that's a bit of inspiration for you. Okay, and right now, we're getting out of bed at a different time. I'm doing my morning routine in a different order. The main thing is don't worry about the timing. If you're on lockdown like us, don't worry about the timing of things. Just make sure that you've got it written down and that you're getting it checked off. Don't worry, you know, thinking, you know, I normally do my morning routine and I'm finished by, you know, I'm usually finished by about 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm not worrying about that right now, you know, I'm just moving forward. So anyway, got out of bed and I always pull back the bed sheets and open the window because I like to get some fresh air into the place while I'm doing my morning routine. This morning I didn't go down and grab my coffee. I actually headed next door to the shower. So I did my shower and I swish and swipe the bathroom once it was done. And then I was in my dressing gown and I went downstairs for my coffee and breakfast. And I was chatting to the family. And then they got logged on for school and for the office. And remember, it's not a holiday here. We're under lockdown, but you know, husband is still working. My kids are still learning at a distance. So they are, you know, they've got fairly set routines for the office and for school. And then, so I had my coffee and I put on a LOL, you know, I like to call it LOL, and a load of laundry. And today it is sheets. I've got some sheets and bath towels and, you know, tea towels and hand towels. You know, if you see my shiny sink pictures on Instagram every night, you'll know all about that. I like to put a fresh one every day. So it's a hot wash, so I will be, that will be the last part of the morning routine today, that the hot wash obviously takes longer. And then I came up here, got dressed to shoes and a wee bit of jewellery and makeup, check, check, check. And then closed the window and made the bed. And when I say make the bed, all I'm doing is like pulling the duvet cover back, and that's basically it. But it looks nice. And when I come here for a nap this afternoon, it's really nice to have the bedroom looking good. What's for dinner? I think we're having... and then this is what I've got, like for the meals planned for the next 2 weeks, but I can't kind of keep it all in my head. But that's why I like to have it written down. I think we're having red lentil and coconut dal, but don't quote me on that. It might be something else, but we have it planned. It's written down somewhere. And I was at the supermarket yesterday. If you saw on Instagram yesterday, I posted pictures of our supermarket, and we have got so much toilet roll, you know, bread, yeast, all the tin goods. The Danes, they were panic buying like the first day, like when we got the first news about lockdown. But the authorities said, you know, it's a health crisis, it's not a food shortage crisis, where we've got plenty of food coming in and going out. And the Danes have actually, thankfully, been reasonable, and there's plenty in the supermarket, almost too much. In fact, somebody told me, she's down in Lollet, that they've actually got toilet paper on sale right now. I think that they've kind of gone a bit overboard with getting new supplies of it. Anyway, so we're all up to date with that. If you want to see the pictures, they're on Instagram. Oh, the only thing that is difficult to get right now is sanitizer, obviously, because they're trying to keep the places that really need it stocked, you know, hospitals, doctors. And I was reading this morning that actually the Danish breweries, they have been drafted in and are offering to help, and they are actually able to convert beer production. They're actually able to convert that into sanitizer, which is fantastic. And we have sanitizer, hand sanitizer anyway. The main thing is you keep washing your hands. We're not out, so I've got sanitizer if, you know, I'm out at the supermarket, but you know, leave it for the people who really truly need it, and if not, drink beer. Right, next thing, oh yeah, exercise. Daily exercise today will be a swim in the sea. I'm driving down to the, we're on the coast here, and I'm driving down there, and Vibeke will drive in her car, and we'll meet there and at a distance and have our swim. Remember, never ever swim alone. Don't have contact with people, but never ever swim alone. And we will enjoy our tea for each from our own car, and we can chat with the windows rolled down. So there we go. That's my exercise for today. Yesterday was a bike ride. Self-preservation. Yesterday I did my nails, and today, what am I going to do today? I'll probably watch something good on the TV. And yeah, so that's basically it for morning routine. Oh, right. And the other thing I wanted to tell you was about the zones. Now, you know, we clean by Flylady Zone, and you've seen me with my wee cleaning caddy. I was in here on Monday. I was doing a clean, and yesterday I got my makeup brushes washed. My little zone item for today is, you know, this is where I keep my makeup and my stuff for getting ready in the morning. You've seen that in previous videos. And today I'm going to do just a fun little job, like sharpening all my eye pencils, and maybe swapping over the colours. You know, I love Dressing Your Truth, and Carol Tuttle, you know, the Dressing Your Truth lady, Carol, she came to visit Copenhagen last year. Just the day before my birthday. What a birthday present. And I took her and John, her husband, I took them for lunch. We did all the sights of Copenhagen. You can see it in a video. It'll be on my Dressing Your Truth and wardrobe list, and also the Denmark playlist that I've got. Anyway, she brought me over all the Dressing Your Truth makeup. You know, you can get your makeup by type, so that's what you see me wearing. And we've got these ones. Now this is the one that I've used. You saw me doing in my little video of how I get ready in the morning. I think this is my hygge morning routine. And there's, you know, it's like magnetic ones where I can keep the things that I'm using, you know, on a daily basis. And then at the end of the month, I like to swap over the colours. So these are the ones that I don't use, that I wasn't using. And I like to swap over the colours and do something a wee bit different. So maybe you want to think about your makeup right now and your hair. You can try out a few different things, because let's face it, if you're on lockdown, nobody's going to see. So it doesn't matter if you make some mistakes. Right, so that's going to be my little thing today. Let me leave them out, because otherwise I'll forget to do it. Yeah, oh, hold on. That was my Scoosh Goosh of perfume for the day. There we are. Put that away. And I like to keep that away, because otherwise it gets too much light. There we are. Right. Yeah, I was going to give you a few ideas for doing things by zone. So we've got... and if you want more information about, you know, gardening by zone, if you put into YouTube or on Google, Diane in Denmark garden, it should pop up the videos. Let's see, zone 4. Now zone 4 is the bedroom, master bedroom and ensuite bathroom. So I was trying to think about, you know, in the garden, what, you know, bedroom. So I went for beds, any of the flower beds, maybe you want to think about those. Maybe this is the week that you have a wee check up on those. Maybe you want to do weeding, pruning, whatever it is. And I'm not so into weeding beds and things like that. That's more of my husband's department. I like to do big things like chopping things down and using the weed burner, stuff like that. But I'll probably edge the borders of the lawn, you know, keep it like the bed, you know, as long as you keep the lawn done and the borders nice, it makes the whole garden look good. And the main thing that I do every week is just to keep the paths swept. We have a lot of paths in our garden. We have a big garden, an old garden, because it is like the house is from 1933, so a lot of old bushes and trees and old paths, lots of paths. So I like to keep those swept, because if I keep them swept, I don't get so many weeds coming up in the paths. So that's on my list. And also for the zones, I've talked about shopping by zone. For example, if you're in, when we're working in the kitchen, Flylady Zone 2, which is the second week of the month, I always say to you, remember to stock up on things like kitchen roll, coffee, I don't know, dishwashing liquid, you know, all those kind of things. And then in zone 3, you know, the bathroom, stock up on toilet paper if you can get your hands on it. Toilet paper, shampoo, I don't know, razor blades, hair gel, you know, those kind of things. And also in the zones, I like to concentrate on, you know, my self-preservation. So zone 4 is the bedroom. So I always like to do things like get to bed early with a book. And I told you what I was reading on yesterday. I'm reading Ellie Griffiths' A Stone Circle at the moment. And for some reason, I've read all her other ones, but I'd missed that one. But now I managed to get it from the library, so that's good. I like to go to bed early. I have a secret stash of chocolate in my rollaway bedside cabinet. You've seen that. So I'm such a rebel. I brush my teeth, get into my pajamas, go to bed, you know, put some lotion on my feet, and then I eat some chocolate. Whoa! Hey, you only live once. But you know, just think about things that you can do for yourself. Maybe you want to have a nice little nighttime ritual when you're going to bed this week. Light a candle, I don't know, maybe bring in some fresh plants. Make sure that you're not watching the television news before you go to bed. Don't go down that road, because you know that would just get you anxious again. But you know, just make it a nice calming experience for yourself. And as I said, you know, use your lotions and potions. Don't keep them for a special occasion. If you're on lockdown, use them now, you know, and enjoy being at home and enjoy your home. So anyway, what's the time? Right, I need to get going. I think we covered everything for today. It is Wednesday, which in Flylady land, as I like to call it, is Anti-Procrastination Day. And normally I would be saying to you, you know, think about things that you've been putting off, maybe making a dentist appointment or a hair appointment or something. Obviously, you're not going to be able to do things like that. But maybe if you've had some things on your list. You know, it's good just to keep a little list in your control journal of things, you know, when you've got time you'll get around to doing them. Things like, you know, if there's a light bulb that's gone, I noticed there's one gone outside in one of the garden lights. So I'll be changing that today. I'll probably wait until the afternoon because it's really cold here, and you know, your fingers are freezing. It's wind chill is below freezing. So anyway, just think about that. Is there something you've been putting off? Maybe you needed your son or daughter who's taller than you to, you know, go up a ladder and get stuff for you. You know, just make the most of the situation. So on that note, I'm going to get running, and all I've got left to say to you is, she's grabbing her pom-poms. Live long and prosper. Have a fantastic Wednesday. May the Danish hooker be with you, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. Okay, bye for now.